Hello and welcome back to Endano. Well, I must tell you, over the past week I have had numerous problems with my layout, and it's all down to electronics. You know, little did I know when I got back into this hobby, wonderful that it is, it's so advanced now from the old days of being analog. It's now all digital. Everything is to do with electronics. And if you're like me and you really sort of try to work things out as you go, and you're not an electronics expert, because I know there are some of you out there that are very good on electronics, but I just actually have to tend to have a short, find out what I need to do to fix the short, and then hopefully correct the problem. But over the past week, I can tell you about numerous problems with the layout. Shorts here, there, you correct somewhere, and then another short happens, and then you go a little bit more, then another short happens, and you drive the train over the opposite direction, and the short happens the opposite direction. So there's so many things been going on. So what I thought I'd do, I'd actually take every single one of the connections off, everything, all of the point motors, all of the droppers, everything, and just start from one point, because that's all you have to do. Start from one point and just work your way around the loop. If that's fine, then great. Let me turn you over to the layout and I'll show you what I mean. Well, as you can probably see here, this is where I actually started. I started here with this main line, and on the main line I actually got that working, and then from there I made sure that the header and the tails, or these are the headers and the tails of the points, were actually at the right polarities when you switched it. So as it is now straight on, this should be in power. That should be not in power. The frog changes the power, the polarity. And then obviously through here and around and around and around. So I did one loop. I knew the riser that went around here actually was all continuous. So I could put a dropper to that underneath the board, and I'll take you underneath there in a moment. Not yet, but in a moment, and show you. But this obviously where it went through various different points, unless you had the polarities, because some of these obviously are reversed. So we got 2 pointing this way, and then you got 1 pointing that way. So underneath, if I take you underneath now, you'll see I'm using IP digital cobalt motors, and some of them are pointing with, say, the blank this side, and I've numbered them all up. Some of them are pointing with the picture on this side, as you see, with the picture, without the picture, as it were, the label. And then, you know, you have to wire them differently. Now this one here to this one, because it's the crossover, I've actually put a link wire. Now what that does, when you throw, if I turn the system on, when you throw this one here, it automatically links that one, because logically, why would you want to go into here and that's closed? You're always going to want to cross, so they both must be in unison with each other. Come this way, that must have to be open. If it's closed, you're going to have a short here. So it's logical that your crossovers there and there need to be linked. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I come over now to my ECoS system, this is my birthday present to myself. This is them here. What I haven't sorted out yet though is to how to make sure that both of them change on this crossover at the same time. Now if I push this, the bottom one still looks like it's straight. It's not, it has changed, because if I go over to where it is, you'll see here now, this is actually on a turnout, and this is on the turnout. So your train comes through here, and that all works together. Now, if I actually push the button, if you can stay there, I'll show you. So they both work together. And how I've done that, as I said, I've put that link wire in, call it a link wire. But basically, there are labels on these to say don't power that side. You're not meant to power that side, absolutely. But these three wires go through to what I would call like the primary and the secondary, if you like. So this one drives this one. So this one I want to happen first once you execute that on your controller, and then this one will actually happen in unison. Now what I've got to do is do the same with where are they? These two here. So this one and this one, I've got to put a link wire between those two. So you can see from underneath here, there is obviously it's still a little bit of tidying up to do, but I've noticed that, you know, some of the droppers that I've got, I don't really need them. I was putting droppers in too many areas, and it all works perfectly well now. So just to give you really an idea of how it does work, let's try and take something out. So if I say, let's go for this one, the class 22. So let's fire him up. That's that one over there. And when I come to the ECoS here, because I've done the layout on the internal, what I call the internal part, which is like here, call it a goods yard area if you like, the inner workings, and then you've got the outer 2.5 loops that go all the way around. That's just the first part. I'm thinking about another exit, because right here I've actually got the upper that goes through, that will come out of there onto another, probably come across a suspension bridge here onto another board. Anyway, for now, so where we are at the moment is we've got the 22 over there, and if we look on the map should tell us exactly where all the points, how they're thrown. So on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th rail here, and if you look how the points are, straight, curved, straight, all the way through. Well, this one here, I've actually doing it manually at the moment because I need to put a point motor in there. But these are all should be straight, curved, straight. Let's have a look. Straight, curved, straight. So we can actually send him on his way. And there he goes, off he goes. And hopefully no shorts, because if there is, this is going to be embarrassing. Also, I've noticed coming on now to the branch line, this also has to be turned out as well, which if you look on here on the outer loops, it's turned into going into the goods yard. So around he comes. If I go back to the map, the outer map, these lines here are straight. So the branch line, points 1, 2, 3, points 1, 2, and 3 are all straight through. So let him have a little run around. I'm going to close this goods yard exit, which is that one there. So he's having a little run around. So what we're going to do now as well is actually execute this crossover. So by pushing that top, it will do both. So it's going to come along here, and it's going to cross onto the main line, off of the branch line, here, and across. And there we go. So he's on the main line. So I come back to here, I close that off. So I've got to figure out how to make that bottom tail go up as well, so they both look like they are crossing. And there he comes. So it all seems to be working okay at the moment. I think I've got everything sorted, but it has taken me about a week to sort this out. There are so many different permutations on what could be wrong with it, with electronics. Let me just slow him down there. So what I'm going to do now is throw this point here, which is this one. And I'm going to run him up. Oh, there we go. Obviously, as a short. But that, I think, is because of this. Didn't come over enough. And why is that? Well, there's probably something. I've just been cleaning the track, and I probably got a little bit of ballast, I would imagine, in there. It's always good to make sure these make contact. The good thing about the ECoS though as well, I'm glad that's happened because I can show you this. The ECoS will always cut everything if there's a short. Is it a good thing? Well, I think it is, purely because you're not going to have any other live track then that could actually be damaged, or any other locos that's on the circuit be damaged. This up here is just to say that there has been a short. Okay, that little bit there. Now, again, to activate the ECoS, what we need to do is push go, and he wakes up again. So hopefully this time, because that has made contact, off he goes. So this would be now the line I'm going to utilise, that's going to go out and around all the way on the riser. So I've got a riser there, as you can see, going across the bridge, and inside the tunnel, which is the cave, you'll see through here he's coming round. Let me bring it around a little bit more. You can just about see that in there, I think, maybe. There he is. So that will actually come out. I put a buffer stop here, and one of those really strong ones as well. So if I do forget to stop that, and it is running slightly, if you can see that, it's coming closer and closer. It should hit that buffer, and it should hold him there. So I'm going to now reverse that and bring it back around. But there were a lot of challenges though on this layout, because I mean, needless to say here as well, where I've got the maintenance depot, there was actually because if you think about it, when you start in black here at the back, red at the bottom, if you use black and red, by the time it comes round into here and then it crosses into here, it is actually different. So you've always got to be aware of that, so you can actually change the wires where needed. Okay. Now I actually use, if you looked at my layout underneath here, I use these connections. They are brilliant. I don't solder them. I solder them to the rails, the droppers, but when the droppers come down, I have these push connections. And I'll show you them in a moment. Not yet, but in a moment. And here he comes. Just bring him round. And then I'll close this point off here, which is this one. And that's how easy it is with the ECoS. Now I was going to show you those connections. Let me just turn that off. Right, okay, here we go. So you can get these on Amazon, but all this is, they're really good to use in terms of putting things together. Or you have two parts. The first part is the one that goes over your bus wire. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So that would crimp over your bus wire. So you put your bus wire through there and crimp it, and then on this end here, from the dropper wire comes down, and you'd connect that to there. And if it's wrong, rather than obviously unsoldering it, like you've maybe soldered your wires, your droppers, you just swap them over. So if that one was on there, and that one was on, let's call that red and black, and it so happened that the polarities have changed, it's very, very simple. You just do that. And it is simple and quick as that. And that's what I had to do with all of these under here. Now, all of my point motors I have labelled. You'll see here, even on the point motors, I've actually got those type of connections. Because even though I've stuck to red and black to black, red to red and black to black bus wire, if you get a short, obviously they say just change these over, and I do. That's very easy. I've become a past master at actually putting these small wires in these little holes. But these Cobalt IP digital point motors, I must say, they are fantastic. I bought one to try it and liked it, so then I bought a pack of 12. And I've only had one problem with it, and it's just gone back today. The company I bought it from exchanged it, and what it was, just this here, this is your run or set button. Now when you're first putting it in, you put it to set, so you set if it's left or right. You can set things on your controller, but this button here, I'm focusing on that, this button had actually dropped off. It'd come just with the back plate. So I contacted them and they exchanged it straight away, which was great. There's a lifetime warranty on these as well, by the original owner. They say, so yeah, if you bought them and you can prove you've got a receipt that you've purchased them, and if they go wrong in 6 months time, you can send it back and you get a replacement, no problem. Like I did with that. I mean, that wasn't a case that it was not working. It probably would have worked, but I didn't want to put it on the layout and find out that I couldn't actually set the run set switch. So there we go. So hopefully now I can start to build this layout in terms of getting a few things on there. But I think if you've been following my videos, the last time you see it, it was a little bit different. I put a bit more grass in now. I'm starting to put some more buildings in. Next thing we're going to do is work on the platforms. There's two platforms. There's a platform here, or a station I should say, and there is a station going to be over there as well. Now this station is going to have two platforms, platform 1 and 2. So obviously my DMU can be then in situ waiting to go, platform 2 that will take you off somewhere. And again, this is the branch line here that will obviously go off when I'm doing some, I thought about doing some shuttle runs as well. And this is the other station, the bigger station over here that will take longer coaches. Anyway, that's it for now. If you do like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. I've got a lot more videos coming on various different things, and hopefully I'll see you soon.